What's going on, guys? Hope everyone had a wonderful day. Mine was tedious. You guys are watching this on YouTube now or in the future, throw a subscribe and a like. It helps me a ton, and we're trying to grow the channel. That goes for any platform you're watching this on. We're going to get to our project from yesterday. We're going to keep moving that forward. We are working on, I am working off stream on completing the Armsy molds per usual. And we'll have them done soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Just keeping an eye on some stuff real quick here. Looks like everything is ups and runnings. There we go. Okay. Rock on. It's working. Sweet. All right, let's do this. Bam. Where we left off yesterday. I was taking a look at some of my my texturing I was doing here, and I'm, to be honest with you, not the biggest fan of it. So we're going to be retackling that in a different direction. So, all right. Probably be using some of this plastic this time. So. Got to pull out all the favorite sculpting tools here. There we go. That should be good. Rock on. Okay. And we got to go live with the TikTok. So let's do it. Oh yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we are sculpting. Well, we have to clean up this life cast. It's a clay life cast of an arm we took of Kyle a few weeks ago. And the idea is that we have to then mold it, and we're going to be making basically a fake limb. So, yeah, so it should go well. Let's see here. Hold on a second. There you go. Big view. There you go. So it's a full arm, but we have to fix all the detail work on the hands. Anywhere there were any air bubbles, cracks, holes, whatever it is, we have to fix it. Right now we're going through and working on the fingers. So the first thing I'm going to probably do is take the finger off and just work on the individual finger all the way around. Something I probably should have done before reattaching it like we did on yesterday's stream. So take it off and then fix it all up, put it back on, then seam it. Again, something probably should have done yesterday, but we will persevere. Here we go. Where is it? So I like to use little pieces of plastic for doing the detail work. So something I did not have for yesterday's stream. So come on now. Man. So you can see the finger, just due to the life cast, got kind of like wonkily shaped, right? So we have to figure that out. Like, if you guys can see, like even the knuckle got kind of weird, right? It got flattened out, so we are actually going to have to... This finger was probably worse than the other ones, but we're going to basically have to kind of reshape the whole finger. Weird. This part particularly is really strange. Cool, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So let's just put this here for now. I guess we'll just set this off to the side. I get it all over the place. You can Smooth On bought the place Smooth On's a pretty big company. They sell pretty much everything you need. It's a bit pricey, but once you learn what those materials are, then you can probably just pursue them through other avenues. Smooth On is probably your go-to. Like I've said, they've kind of purchased a lot of the companies that do it. So, like Chavant, like this clay is Chavant, and I'm pretty sure they literally bought that company for better or for worse. So, yeah, it's online. It's online. A lot of stuff is expensive, but they sell the Chavant brand clay. They sell all the silicone, alginate, plaster bandage, whatever you need, they sell it. So, okay, so like I was saying, the skin, wait, which hand was this of his? This was his hand. This is not my hand, okay? This was not my life cast, but we have to smooth all this out. The skin got pushed off to the side, right? So, or maybe even just add some clay. We'll move some over and add some. Yeah, Smooth On's pretty cool. Guys, thank you so much for the follows. I really appreciate it. If you were hanging out yesterday, you'll know that I pretty repeatedly say that my big goal right now is to make it to 10,000 followers on TikTok and as many followers on any other platforms as possible. If you guys want to see my past streams and how we got this far, you can jump over to YouTube, creatively_cursed. I post all my past streams there. Occasionally do some edited videos as well. So yeah, like I said, check out YouTube, creatively_cursed. What are you making? We're making a prop arm for a movie that we're going to be working on. The movie we'll start working on in the next probably month when this is done. That's it. Yeah, creatively_cursed. Yep. Damn. Thank you for the weights. Appreciate it. But yeah, if you check out creatively_cursed, throw a subscribe too. Trying to build out the YouTube channel. Actually, we're live there too. We're live all over the damn place right now. So we were talking yesterday about potentially, yeah, thank you for sending the weights for sure. Don't know what those are yet. Still getting used to the whole TikTok thing, but Brie Berry Pie, thank you so much for the follow. Didn't really want to lose all that detail, but it's better than whose hand? It's my buddy Kyle, his hand. Excuse me. We live casted him for the movie, so we're doing him. It's actually a full arm. Kind of hard to tell from where we're at right here, but it is in fact a full arm. So should actually, here I have an idea. We're gonna put this right here. But bam, we're gonna rest that finger right there. Cut another piece of foam. We can rest it on top of the other sculpture. So, oh well, we haven't even started shooting yet. It's just gonna be a short. It's gonna be a fun little indie thing that we're gonna do. I'm an effects artist, so the movie's just gonna focus around doing an effect basically. So it'll be a short film. Then we'll do another one. We were talking about doing a couple of short films with this, like with the same effect, but for different reasons for the effect happening. Knocked Wolf, what's going on? In for the win for Twitch, YouTube, creatively_cursed. And well, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Also we're doing the kick thing too now. We're all over the place. All over the damn place. How have things been, Knocked Wolf? Hope all's been well. Man, do I gotta keep moving this camera back? One finger at a time. Kick 2, yeah, as of Sunday, I think. We're all over the place. All over. Holy cows, yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, like I was saying, I don't know when it'll happen, but the goal is to obviously get us over to the situation where we can actually stream from the PC on TikTok. That'll be the big goal, you know. Is the hand going to move? We're kind of undecided if the hand's going to move. It might. We could add some really basic animatronics. Yeah, exactly. I was doing that in a world thing all day yesterday. In a world where Creatively Cursed gets 10,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, exactly. We came up, so we had a whole big script originally. What happens to the clay person? Well, luckily the clay person is just the arm. We just life casted the arm, so unfortunately it's not a whole clay person, okay? It's just a clay limb, okay? He was a trooper. Like I said, you can check out the YouTube channel. We actually have the video up of the life cast that we did. It was pretty crazy. We had to put him in a pretty strange pose to get it, to get the arm in the shape that we needed it to be. So he held up pretty tight. What happened to the clay limb? Well, we are going to have an effect for the film, right? But I'm not going to go over what the effect is because I don't want to give away what the movie's about or what the effect is really going to be, right? We gotta keep a level of mystery, okay? Let's say, Heather, thank you for the follow. It's for a short film. Yeah. Ba-ba-bum. I was actually really irritated today. I was hoping to get a lot further on the molds that I'm working on, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. I got stuck dealing with a bunch of ridiculous people on email, and that really sucks. When the day is spent in meetings instead of working on what you want to be working on, so... Yeah, this finger is very flat. It's a very flat finger. No bueno. Okay, no bueno. Can I balance the finger? I think I can actually kind of balance it on here. It would be pretty cool if it could balance right where I need it to be for a moment. Okay, there it is. I actually thought about cutting off the whole hand for sculpting purposes, just because it's really difficult to move around a giant, I don't even know, 15-pound hand. No, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be like 20 pounds. It's got to be about 20 pounds of clay. So it's like fragile too, right? So if I break it or mess it up, I have even more work ahead of me. This is already going to be a pretty big job, so, you know, doing my best to not give myself more work. So we've been able to fix a little bit of the flatness. A wee bit of the flatness. It could have been the silicone got pinched when we did the life cat, or when we poured the clay in too. Life casting can be tricky, and then when you're trying to cast with clay, we were talking about it yesterday too. Like, it can be even trickier. Yep, let's add. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, let's add some. It's like, there it is. Thank you. Hey, Noctwolf, can you see polls that I've created? I'm just curious. I don't know if you can or not. I keep meaning to post like polls in chat, and then I created one, and I don't know if you can see it or not. It was like a, what's it called? A draft. It was a poll draft. Can you see the draft that I made about the video game characters, or no? I don't know what powers thy moderators end up with. I can see the one for, yeah. The best monsters, yeah. If you can, would you mind posting that? Whoa, Triceratops, what's going on?
Yes, how was the stream going? Just got online.
Too bad you're live on like 6 different things right now, just a heads up.
Oh no, it's like the other times I get onto your
No,
chat.
last times it wasn't that many.
Oh. Wait, what 6 am I on?
YouTube, Kick, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Was that 6?
I didn't really count. I was just seeing which genres of things I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah, a pretty wide genre.
Right, like I can't refer to feces unless I say poo, because if I put the P at the end, it's gonna hurt YouTube's feelings.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah. Well, that's neat. I'm just
That is neat.
Just here doing nerd things, and I saw you
Are you playing Magic?
No, I'm not playing Magic. I'd be doing that at my kitchen table, but I am in the process of designing a deck based on a card I saw this morning on the way to work.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So wait, what are the nerd things you're doing?
Building a Magic deck.
Oh, okay.
Or designing one, I suppose I should say. I'm doing it on mine. So.
Gotcha. I actually saw, I think it was on TikTok actually earlier today. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know if there's like, if they release like animated trailers for new decks or something like that. Or maybe, oh, is there one that got released recently?
There's a set coming out in 16 days, and they've been doing a huge amount of like marketing hype for it, and revealing cards that will be in the set over the last couple of weeks or so. They just revealed the 5 pre-con decks that they're releasing with it and shit. So there's a lot of stuff going on online in that realm of things, I suppose, at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw something with that character. It was like a digital. It reminded me of like and admittedly, I haven't seen one since back in the day, but it reminded me of. Have you ever seen like the really crazy animated trailers for like World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
For like the expansions, it looked like something like that, but it had that crazy Hellraiser looking.
Oh, the chick with the head. Yeah, that's Elish Norn. She's the leader of
Dragon Queen or something like that.
She'd be Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, or Elish Norn, the Grand Cenobite, which is a word I'm sure.
Oh, they literally do call it Cenobite in the.
Yeah,
the
like her original card from however many years back, it literally has Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite written on it, and. If you were to, like, if I were to send you a link to a bunch of the artwork that surrounds the Phyrexians, the like type of race or whatever she is, you'd see a lot of like Hellraiser-esque looking artwork in that stuff, because I mean it's essentially if Cenobites fused with the Borg from Star Trek and we're trying to turn people into
I can
more
see that.
Cenobites.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if Cenobite is even. You know how like Necronomicon is kind of like Necronomicon, the idea like that term came from Lovecraft. Yeah. Right? I wonder if Cenobite is made it into like the lexicon of I don't know what you would say, like fiction, to the point where like I don't even know that Clive Barker is the person who came up with it. Because how could they use it in Magic, right? If it was a copyrighted term from his book or something like that, right?
In theory, I think so. Let's see. Cenobite references.
Because from my understanding, Cenobite's like directly related to Hellraiser and Clive Barker's books. But again, most people don't realize that the Necronomicon is like a totally fictional word made for fictional, writings.
Oh yeah,
They think it's like
I had a buddy in high school who thought it was like actually some ancient tome found out in the Middle East somewhere, and I was like,
right, exactly, yeah.
Well, I'm on the Hellraiser wiki, and it looks like for the most part, Cenobites are pretty much just associated with Hellraiser. Although I guess there is a theory that Candyman is a Cenobite.
I could see that.
I could see that too, yeah. And then, well, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure how great of a reference this wiki is, because it doesn't even...
Did you have to go to the Hellraiser wiki?
It was I typed for like references to Cenobites, or I searched for references to Cenobites, and that was the first thing that came up. But
oh, okay, gotcha.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm just curious if I know you're like a wordsmith, so.
Oh shit! It is a fucking very old word.
Really?
Yeah. So let's see, or at least it looks like it's a very old word. Let me
Oh, so Clive Barker just, What up, Pat? How's it going?
Oh, okay. It does actually make sense as a term for both the Phyrexians in Magic and for the Cenobites from Hellraiser.
I'm guessing it's some kind of like demon, right? Generally speaking.
You're on the fringe, I guess. But
okay.
It's like, for instance, the Merriam-Webster definition is a member of a religious group living together in a monastic community. I can see how you can use that either for, the Cenobites in Hellraiser.
Wait a minute. Say it again. A religious member what?
A member of a religious group living together in a monastic community.
Monastic meaning...
Lives in a monastery or in a cloister or something.
Oh, so it wouldn't even have to be demon. It could be literally monk.
Yeah.
A monk is a Cenobite?
Ironically, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Hey, there you go, TikTok and everyone else, the whole internet. Did you know monk is Cenobite? There you go. I didn't know that. I got fooled.
There's even another word related to it, which is Cenobitism, which is the state system or practice of Cenobites.
The practice of living in a monastery?
Yeah, I would assume, based on the definition, that it would mean like the collective practices of a group of people who could be considered Cenobites, So
okay.
Like Shaolin monks would have their own Cenobitism in comparison to like Catholic monks, for instance.
Cenobitism. I actually really like that word.
I do too, man. I'm gonna get a
tattoo
on my forehead now.
We need to find more ways to use Cenobitism.
Yeah.
Oh, what about this? I wonder if there's a way. Could you use what would be a word that would be or mean like a Cenobite? Like for example, there's religious zealots, right?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, the word would probably with that sort of context and whatever the other word is, I can't think of. Probably Cenobite would just be the word, but like if we were to say like make an adjective from that would be. That would have the meaning of like of or related to Cenobitism or a Cenobite,
Yeah.
At this point there isn't a word for that, I guess, and so we would essentially just get to choose the word ending based on whatever we wanted to, because we'd be making up a word. You could say Cenobite.
I wonder if Cenobite then is actually is there even another word that is what Cenobite is? Does that make sense?
I mean, probably I guess Cenobite synonym. Let's find out. It's probably just going to give us like monk and shit. But the other words are recluse, ascetic, like ASCETIC, ascetic,
right.
and anchorite.
Anchorite.
Other ones would be monk and nun, of course, but those are Catholicism specific. So.
Monk, too?
Well, I guess monk isn't necessarily Catholicism specific, but I'm pretty sure nuns at least are specifically a Catholic thing. At least by using the term nun,
Well, yeah, but I figured, because I mean, Buddhist monasteries have monks, right? So.
Yep. Yep, yeah.
Huh.
The Buddhist monks. I don't know if the Shaolin monks practice Buddhism. I think they do. I think monk, like at least in using the term monk in English to refer to various, I guess, Cenobites from different religions. I think it's a pretty common thing. I'm gonna guess that's just what we call things in English because they're similar enough in their behavior and stuff. But
Right. Yeah.
I'd imagine. I mean, obviously, not every culture speaks English anyway, so I'm sure there's like literally 4,000 or more different words for either of those things.
When you looked it up, did it tell a time frame for which that word was?
I was trying to find it. I'm gonna guess it probably goes. You know what? Actually, I have a website that might be able to tell me that. Cenobite. Oh, so looks like it goes back to the 1630s from a church Latin term, cenobita, which meant cloister brother. Related words would be cenobium, a convent, which came from the Greek. I don't know Greek phonetics, but it looks like it's koinobian, life in a community or monastery, and also from the term koinos, which is where the ceno part comes from, is the koinos.
And koinos? What's that?
So that just means common.
Yeah. The more you know.
Yeah,
Thank you for all the follows, guys. I greatly appreciate it. One of these days, we're going to make it to 10,000 followers, and you're going to help me. And I'll remember each and every one of you.
Sounds like a lie and like a threat.
What kind of deck are you building?
Well, so I guess it's a modification of a deck that I had actually built back in September, but never actually bought all the cards to put it together. But I had made this deck that had, it was based off of the very first deck I bought back when Sean and Steve and Kimberly and Steve's wife and everybody came over to my place that one time back when we first moved.
Yeah.
They had played a game and I was like, fuck dude, that looks pretty fun, and I don't have my parents here to tell me it's satanic anymore, so I guess I can play it, you know, so.
Wait, I'm sorry, which game?
Magic.
Oh, we are talking, okay, all right,
Yeah, it had wizards and shit and magic in it, so it was the devil, according to my folks.
Yeah.
And so I never got to play it as a kid, but like Joe and the other Tony and a bunch of my friends from back, you know, during school all would play it all the time, like on recess and whatever, and I was always kind of envious. And so when the work peeps came by and played a game, the game ended in a very hilarious way between Kimberly and Sean. Sean basically killed himself in a way, in a strange way. And
wait, his character?
Or
his team? Or I don't know what it's called.
Well, the game, I guess you would say the deck, if anything. But there's a concept in the game called milling, which is where a player will basically have to discard cards from the top of their library and put them into their graveyard. And if you, generally speaking, unless you're doing certain things with certain very specific cards, if you run out of cards in your library, the next time you have to draw a card, you automatically lose because you have no more library. And so Sean did this thing where he made Kimberly mill some number of cards. She made him mill twice as many, which then, with everything they had out, meant that she then had to mill twice as many as Sean, and then he had to. He Fibonacci sequenced himself out of having a library and lost because he had one less card than what he needed to draw. If he had that one card, then Kimberly would have lost. But it was just kind of funny since Sean's.
I hate it when I Fibonacci sequence myself out of anything.
Oh, me too. It's the worst. But yeah, so I mean, I went and bought this deck where the commander was pretty simple. It just made it so that whenever you cast a creature spell or a card that is a creature for, I don't know if you needed that clarification, but either way, so whenever you would cast a creature, it's not whenever you cast a creature, but whenever a creature token would enter the battlefield, you can make copies of shit in the game essentially. If at any time where you would have a token enter the battlefield, one or more, you double the number that come out. So if you're going to make 3 things, instead you made 6, whatever. And so I had built this deck where the goal was just to kind of flood the battlefield with way too many creatures for people able to really be able to do anything about. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I've had that deck sitting on one of the resource websites that I use for a while now. And on my way to work this morning, I was or actually, well, I guess it's on my way to work. But I was sitting in Kyle's parking lot waiting for him to come out to the car, and I got onto Reddit for a minute, and I saw this other card that has a similar sort of a mechanic, but also another one. And so with this one, I can like double. Well, either the non-creature spells that I'm casting or the creature spells, and basically it's just a way to like double up on everything I do and make shit a little insane for everybody.
No worries,
so,
Glitch.
Kind of just working
all
on
good.
that right now.
I actually started early. Okay, well, nice. So
To be honest with you, I'd have to give you like a lecture on game mechanics to really be more specific than that. Otherwise, I would have went into further detail. But I don't think
Gotcha.
you and your fans want to be subjected to that.
hey, I don't know. We've gotten some followers. Maybe we got a bunch of magic nerds in chat. I don't know.
Well, you either have magic nerds or etymology nerds at this point.
You guys are magic nerds. You should everyone put like a eggplant in chat if you're magic nerds. I've never played Magic, but Triceratops here is pretty big fan. Pretty big fan. I like the artwork. I feel like I'm one of those guys. I'm sure Magic nerds even have like a term for guys that, oh, you just like the artwork, you know?
Oh, I'm sure there's like that end of the fan base for sure. I mean, there's like artists that have artists that do the artwork for cards who like have actual fans. So there's definitely that's part of the thing, or that's part of the game, I guess. But that said, dude, as much as I don't trust that slippery bitch, I mean, something other than that word. I'm sure one of the 6 things is upset I said that, but I might hit up Steve and figure out what he did to get you to play Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm going to figure out a way that you will play this game.
Maybe I'll give it a try.
Well, take your time.
Bravo ex-coworks is huge into Magic. You just put a 9 instead of an O. Barber Friends. Yeah. Well, it's got a huge... It must have had... All right, so here's the thing. I don't think that the entertainment in Magic has ever gone away since its start, but it definitely feels like it's... And maybe I'm wrong. It feels like it's had a resurgence. I feel like I went from knowing no one who played Magic to knowing everyone who played Magic. You know what I mean?
I feel like you went from people who weren't me playing Magic around you to the autistic guy you know really well is now playing Magic. There might be a resurgence, or the fact that I just haven't shut up about it for a year and a half is probably...
No, but it's not just you. I mean, just think about all the other, like you said, like the coworkers and stuff like that, right?
That's true.
It just seems like everyone I hire now, or everyone that I talk to, I'm like, what are you into? And they're like, I play Magic. That or D&D. I feel like both of those things have had a pretty large resurgence.
I've only been into Magic for this brief time, obviously, but I would say with Dungeons and Dragons, which I've kind of played on and off over the years, that it does seem... I don't know if we could call it a resurgence, but I would say it suddenly became a thing where people don't beat me up because I talked about it out loud in a high school anymore. Or, I mean, people don't beat other people up with it.
It's okay, Glitch. I didn't... I was able to decipher the message. It's okay. Being so terrible at typing like I am, I actually know how to read messages that are wildly mistyped. It's like a superpower, really.
Like a superpower.
Well, and I think I've mentioned this before. I'm pretty sure that, or at least I'm fairly certain that Stranger Things probably had something to do with it. That show got wildly popular, and a big part of it was, the D&D kind of homages and aspect and stuff like that. So
yeah, I would think you're right.
And I mean, hell, I feel like that show's I could be wrong, but I feel like Stranger Things is already 6-7 years old from the original season.
Oh man, that makes me feel neat.
Doesn't feel right, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I lived in that one apartment for so long, all those years just kind of blend together in one very long year.
It is 7 years.
7 years, wow, yeah.
That came out in 2016.
So, Yeah, so I'm sure that had a big thing to do with it.
Yeah.
And it was right after it started popping off that I was like, all of a sudden meeting all these people. They're like, D&D, magic, and you gotta imagine that once one kind of like, well, I guess it is kind of, but I was gonna say retro thing starts, all of a sudden all those like related retro things kind of get popular.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that's completely true. Think about like when bell-bottom jeans came back when we were younger. It's not like all hippie-related stuff came back. Or maybe it did, actually. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Thank God those didn't come back, right?
Bell bottoms? Yeah, we're probably all right without those. You know what should come back, though? Jinko jeans, dude. I don't even like pants unless there's so much material 5 more people could wear them with me.
Oh, who was I talking to about that? I think I was talking to Styx about that, actually. She actually, I think has a, I could be wrong. I think she has a thing for like 90s fashion, which I think is interesting. She calls herself a 90s kid. And so maybe, hey, is 90s coming back? Because there's one thing I kind of liked. Fit family of 5 in them pants? Yeah, you could. I want the furniture from the 90s to come back. I don't care what anyone says. Furniture from the 90s was frickin' dope, okay? Bright colors, solid colors, not a ton of patterns. I'm gonna do a bit, okay, also, hail Jinko. Big fans of Jinkos out there. You're just talking about, they're like tube pants, right? It's just like a cylinder of like jean fabric.
Yeah, the ones
that
where
just
the pant
like
legs were so big you could like hide a dumpster inside of them, you know?
Okay, there's certain things we do not need to bring back from the 90s. I wouldn't even say the 90s is even close to being one of my quote-unquote favorite eras. But I really liked the furniture. Like the big comfy couches, dude. They don't make couches like they did back in the 90s, okay? They just don't.
I don't remember 90s couch. I mean, to be honest.
Just look up, like, if you ever get a chance, just look up, like, 90s furniture, like a Google search. Okay? And you'll just see some wacky, like, I'm pretty sure bean bags were huge in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like, think of, like, like coffee shop couture or something like that. Like, Friends was 90s, right? So, kind of think of that type of era. The clothing was meh.
Yeah.
Do you remember swishy pants?
I hate swishy pants. I don't need to know you're wearing that material, but making that noise in front of me.
Hey, no one could sneak up. That's really important to me, you know. So, like,
nobody can sneak up. Well, I guess there is that.
Everyone was so happy when they came out with the pants that you could turn into shorts.
Chants, dude. I remember those.
Shants?
Yeah,
Why couldn't they be called ports?
Because you shan't be caught wearing those stupid things. That's why. Or at least you shouldn't be.
I remember having at least a couple pairs of those.
I did too.
Cargo pants are still the bee's knees.
Yeah, dude, I love having pockets right by my kneecaps, bro. Like, I don't like having pockets towards my waist. Put them down there, you know?
Right. What were we? Yeah, we were talking about Furbies. That's how I think it came up. And how much I really don't like Furbies.
I hate them.
I mean, they're just a less cool Teddy Ruxpin, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Imagine what a Furby would be nowadays. Furby powered by ChatGPT.
Admittedly, that might be kind of cool. Furby that actually smart.
It would be. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. NJD, thank you so much for sharing the live. If you guys like special effects, sculpting, and apparently nerd stuff, you guys should follow me. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers, and I believe in each and every one of you.
And I believe in nerd stuff.
And if you want to see past live streams from when we grabbed the life cast for this arm, you can go check out my YouTube, creatively_cursed. We're actually streaming there right now, too. And you can see all the past live streams and some of the video game streams, too. Speaking of which, we do have to get back to the forest at some point. Probably won't happen anytime soon. But
ironically, I'm playing it right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I bought a couple of deuces on the way home, and
You're like, I gave up on building the deck.
Yeah, I know that the further I get into this can of beer here, the less concentrated I'm
Strategic you'll
gonna
be.
be about stuff. Yeah.
And you just be putting colored cards that don't need to be in there.
Yep.
It's a red-blue deck, but all of a sudden you're putting in like pink, and pink doesn't even exist.
Yeah, kinda, pretty much. I'm like, why is there a fucking Charizard in this deck? That's not even the same.
Oh, I knew there were going to be finger and hand jokes. There's something about this TikTok I can't put my finger on. Yes. There were some great, hand jokes yesterday. I was trying to make another joke. I just lost it. I just lost it.
When you decapitate cannibals, have they always just let blood spurt out of their head for a long time after that?
No, that's probably one of those new animations that the...
Oh.
And if you... I don't know how much you played it since all the update. Oh, when's the next... Is it tomorrow?
Yes, it is.
We're trying to get this project done. We're trying to get this project done. We're trying to get 18 other projects done. They need to stop with the updates for a little bit. Well, they don't need to stop just on my account, but it'd be kind of cool too,
I mean, I would love it if video game companies scheduled everything around my schedule, but so far not.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. Fortunately, they're all very discourteous in that way.
I did not... No, it's Kyle's finger. I will not be doing that. Although I still do kind of hope that as I'm working on his hand, he feels like random little tickles. Voodoo hand sculpt. All right, I'm a little bit happier with this shape now. Did you start a new file?
No, I'm playing on the one I've been on for a few weeks.
Gotcha. How are things going with you, Milo? How have things been? See that? We want to try and fix even that pattern there, so... Oh, so you haven't re-beaten the game or anything like that?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Not yet.
Any Sons of the Forest fans out there? Other than me. I'm a pretty big Sons of the Forest fan. Wow, 3.4 thousand likes. Thanks, guys. Seeing them hearts jump up just warms my heart. Ow. I think we got up to just shy of 20,000 likes yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
I know I'm still waiting for you to start streaming, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Didn't you end up? You got a cam and everything, didn't you?
I did. At some point I will. It will be excessively nerd stuff streams. Coincidentally, I was actually just talking to Elle about that when she was here on Monday.
Yeah, she actually reminded me that she does, I guess, some streaming on Mondays does D&D streaming, from my understanding. See, there again, my point, even more, yeah. Everyone's into D&D now.
I just found out that she was interviewed by my favorite podcast's host, Robert Evans.
The Behind the Bastards podcast people?
Yeah, dude.
When was she interviewed?
I guess a while back when he was still working with Cracked. I think he was interviewing her. Oh, she told me what the interview was about. I think it was about maybe like VR and porn stuff. I kind of forget at the moment, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I guess she just kind of randomly started listening to the podcast because of the Andrew Tate 4-parter that he did. And I was like,
oh wait, so this was a while back then.
No, yeah, it was a while back that he would have interviewed her. He hasn't even worked for Crack for like years. He's been doing the podcast. I think mostly the podcast, maybe still some journalism stuff. For at least I want to say like 3 or 4 years now.
Not really worth talking about it. I'm just tired and stressed. I'm sorry. What's stressing you out, Milo? It's my first on the scale. Wait, it's my first rifle off the scale, and it's killing me. Are you okay? You've lost me. I don't know what that means. Refine of the scale. Are you sculpting right now? Sorry, what you were saying, dude? I'm randomly gonna talk to chat. That's gonna happen.
I am randomly gonna forget what I was saying whenever you do it, and I'm fine with
that. I'm fine with that too.
Cool. Guess everybody's fine with all those things. Okay. I need zipline gun. Do I have a zipline gun?
So did you find out the official release date for the expansion of your? Oh my God, what's it called? Elden Ring? Did they give an official release yet, or no?
You know, I haven't looked into it. I kind of just, I mean, between the Angst boys not hitting me up to play it for a few weeks and me getting pretty upset that it's a year out, I haven't even picked up the game in a while. Like, if they were to hit me up and wanted to play,
oh, that's right. You did say it's like a year out, so you do kind of know when it's going to be.
Well, I mean, only based on the speculation that there's been online. There's nothing official that I've seen myself yet, but from what I've read, it's probably not coming out for about a year.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, not super thrilled about it.
Thank you, guys. Look at all them follows. One by one, we're making it. Oh, you're refine. Okay, gotcha. Refinancing a building. It's stressing me out. And you can come from to this. Yeah. No, I gotcha. Favorite horror movie? That's a good. Ooh, that's a good question. Triceratops, you want to go first? What's your favorite horror movie?
Ooh, let's see. I'm gonna say Prince of Egypt from DreamWorks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna need a moment on that one.
Yeah, that's why I asked you. I was gonna need a moment. I'm like, man, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I have like favorites. You know what I mean? I don't know if I have a favorite horror movie. Like real. Man, I don't know. All right, if the definition of favorite is like I have seen it the most times by choice, like I've put it on to watch it, okay? I think one of the top ones, because I've just seen it so much, I'm assuming most people would consider this horror, is the movie Seven. It's up there. It's probably my top 5.
Like a thriller or something over horror, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no point where I'm like scared. There's just like points where it's intense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and disturbing. Yeah. That's true. Okay. Favorite genre?
Favorite horror movie?
Could ask sci-fi. That would have been easy. Easy sci-fi.
What's your favorite sci-fi movie?
Any of the Predator movies or Aliens.
Oh yeah, fucking.
You know, like Aliens and Predator, like those. Yeah. Like that's easy. It's so weird when you have to like think about this. It's like I all of a sudden, even though I know horror movies really well, I've like literally forgotten every single one.
Yeah, right. I'm like, what horror movies have I even seen? Have I seen a horror movie? But
oh, you know what? I got it. It's up for debate. Okay, The Thing has got to be in the top 5.
I have not seen The Thing, but from what I know of The Thing, which is basically the synopsis, I would argue that you could probably call that like sci-fi horror or something.
Yeah. If I'm pretty sure The Thing would be in and actually I would say.
I know mine.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know if you or anybody listening has ever seen this movie, but it's a 90s Stephen King movie called The Langoliers.
Oh yeah, you told me about this. It's got the big floaty meatball monster things.
Yeah, bro. I don't know why, but when I was a little kid, that shit fucked me up, and it like, it doesn't scare me now. Like if I were to watch it, tonight, I'd be like, okay, cool, I'd be fine. But
you might be disappointed in it, actually.
I've watched it in recent years.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't like freak me out anymore, but I still remember when it did. You know what I mean? And it tweaks my shit. Or it doesn't really tweak my shit, but I'll like, I don't know even know how to explain it. It's like I'll feel a remnant of the fear that I felt then. Like I feel the memory of being afraid or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't really know. If that makes sense, but...
I mean, Poltergeist. You know what? I would say I want to say Poltergeist because I feel like it deserves it from me. It deserves to be my favorite. But the fact of the matter is the Poltergeist I recently watched with Glitch, and it's super dated, dude. It is super dated.
When I was living with you guys.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it just feels so bad. And it sucks because I have such great memories about that movie. We have to fix all the detail on this finger, guys. We're not done. We're just putting it back in place to test the fitting. Plus it's getting warm in my hand and that starts to mess with the clay. So but yeah, so Poltergeist would be up there. I just feel like I have to give it to it, even though in recent years I haven't watched it that much.
Yeah.
And then honestly, you know what? I'll say close, like another top 5. I feel like that's all I can really do. Anything of the Evil Dead movies with like even the remakes. And I haven't seen the newest one. It's in theaters right now, and I just hate going to movie theaters. But I would probably say Evil Dead 2 is up there for sure. You've seen all those movies now.
Yeah, I have. I'm pretty sure you're the reason I've seen all of them as well. But yeah, I guess technically those are horror movies, but I find them far more hilarious than terrifying, you know?
The first one was far scarier.
I guess that's true.
The original. And then Evil Dead 2 was pretty, it was very horror. And then Army of Darkness just kind of got funny. You know, you know what? I actually say this. When I judge movies by like what genre they're supposed to be in is oddly something that most people who are probably under the age of 28, 27 probably really won't remember that well. But it's like, where would I see that movie in like Blockbuster? You know?
Oh, yeah.
And I could see Army of Darkness ending up in the comedy section, as odd as it sounds. I don't know that it would necessarily be horror.
I don't know if this counts as a horror movie or if it's just horrifying that people thought it was good, but I think The Notebook's up there. I mean, the idea that I would ever watch that again scares me more than most.
Oh, you've seen it?
I have dated people in the past. I know that sounds strange, but yes.
Oh, no. I have too, and I've never seen it.
You've dated more fortunately than me.
What about you guys over in, whoever's watching? What are you guys' favorite horror movies? Come on. We got a bunch of people in chat. Fill the chat. Favorite horror movies. Go. We've been talking about it. You guys have had time to think. All right, I was put on the spot. Everyone leaves chat. I'm not answering that question.
Dude, I didn't know he was going to ask us. I've never seen it. Oh, you know what else? I guess I don't know if this would... It's at least a werewolf movie. I don't remember where it was.
Wait, hold on one second. The new Scream? Okay, hey, you know what? Travis Rhodes, I'll give you props. The rest of you, I'm calling you out. The chat should be just flying by with all your guys' favorite horror movies, okay? What were you going to say? Werewolf something?
Yeah, there was this French, I believe it was considered a horror movie, but there was this French movie that was called, like, it's called the same thing that people in Louisiana call werewolves.
Wait, do people in Louisiana call them something different?
Yeah, because there's all them, Louisiana, Bayou,
what is that called? There's a word for that. Yeah.
Like Creole is basically swamp French. And I'm
That's a good answer.
I'm not kidding. It's like literally French people went there and they're like, there's a lot of alligators. We have to butcher our language like the English are doing. I don't know why that was the choice, but they did. But yeah, no, I think it was called, if I'm remembering the phrase, I think it was called Le Loup-garou, because in Louisiana they got like a Wolfman urban legend thing that they call either the loup-garou or the loup-garou.
Really?
Yeah, and it's based on this French term, but yeah, it was a pretty cool movie. It was one of the first foreign films I saw that was actually in some language other than English. But yeah, I watched it with Amanda's family back in high school.
What was that? Not bad. I laughed, led through the whole thing. It's not that bad. Oh, are you talking about the new Scream movie? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I saw the last one before this. Fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's that's classic. Those ones, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies are pretty good. I mean, going back to the original, they're very disturbing. Like, I'm happy I saw them. How do I say that? Like, it is disturbing, but in a it's so hard. You know me, Triceratops. I've watched a ton of disturbing stuff. For me to say something's disturbing, you generally should mean that it's very disturbing. But what's funny is
I don't know that you have the same criteria for finding something disturbing as human beings do, though. So that doesn't necessarily track.
Well, I'm just saying, like, for example, when I was younger, you remember, I loved watching. I mean, how many times did we watch Devil's Rejects, right?
Enough.
Yeah, right. A lot. I loved that movie. I love that movie.
Had my buzz.
What's up, funny guy? How's it going?
More than most movies I've ever seen together.
Right.
It's a great movie, but it does kind of wear off the high real fast.
Right, but it's also, yeah, that or The Quiet Place. Ooh, that's a good one. I did like The Quiet Place. House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah, I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses, I like Devil's Rejects way more than House of a Thousand Corpses, like by a long shot.
Me too, but is that even like really a horror movie though, dude? Because that's really
House
more like a story
or Devils?
about having freedom, dude.
Which one are you talking about?
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, it's
the
a
whole
horror
scene
movie,
at the
dude.
end where they get shot up by the cops is about like being yourself and not letting the man get you down and shit.
Is that what it's about?
That's what I thought the moral of the movie was. Like, just be you.
Oh
No
my
matter how
God,
weird
dude.
You are like, fuck the government. You know, like, culture
I don't-
can't
yeah.
tell you who you gotta be.
I don't know if that's what the movie was about.
100%, dude. 100%.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot about that one. Oh, that might be it. Cabin in the Woods. That might be my favorite horror movie. I have seen that. I've seen that so many times. Not a fan of reboots. Prefer originals. Yeah, I can respect that. I actually love reboots. I love reboots. I love remakes. I love covers of music. I like seeing the other take, the other take. You know, someone else getting a chance to do it. I dig that. Oh man, when did the thumb just decided to like peace out? This is like, it's like I can't take it. Ooh, 13 Ghosts. That's another great one.
I'm gonna say this one, even though I think it's technically a comedy with horror leanings. But you know, half the shit you've said I thought was just hysterical, so I don't know. Ernest Scared Stupid. That fucking troll thing. Tweak my
dude,
shit out
it
when I was
is.
growing up.
Yeah,
It is, like,
actually,
creepy as
I
fuck.
will grant you that is a scary movie, dude.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
honestly, it's mostly funny, but when you do actually see the troll or whatever it's supposed to be, that thing is fucked up, dude. Like,
Dude, but there are funny parts where he's like, Miak. Do you remember?
yeah, I do. Man, there were times when I was a kid where I was like, I'm gonna bring the Hershey syrup and the milk into my room because I'm scared at night, and that thing might be outside, dude. Like, I knew how to kill it, but...
Oh my God, I'm so happy you said that. I have forgotten about that movie. I'm actually totally in the movie. I'm totally in the mood to watch some Ernest, man.
I wonder, you know, I bet those movies have got to be streaming on one of the services, but I don't know which one.
It's funny you say that because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've actually seen them streaming on anything.
I haven't either, but to be honest with you, after December, I kind of got rid of all the streaming stuff.
Yeah, they got to be on something.
Yeah.
There are those like occasional flicks that are literally stuck in some kind of like purgatory that aren't on any streaming services. 13 Ghosts, that's another one I'd be totally down to watch. Again, I haven't seen that one in a while and I really liked it. Wait, I think I asked you, have you seen 13 Ghosts?
I don't believe I have, actually.
It's Matthew Lillard, F. Murray Abraham, Tony Shalhoub.
Oh, no, I definitely don't think I've seen it.
It might be, yeah, dude. Before he was like Tony Shalhoub, everyone knows.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it might be before, or not before, but what is the word I'm looking for? There was a whole group of movies that got that were produced by Dark Castle Films, and it was like, I want to say roughly owned by something like, they remade a lot of, is it what I want to say Frank Castle, but that's Punisher, that's not it. What's his name? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like House on Haunted Hill, like the old classic black and white film horror movies. I can't remember what the they're called. The director's name and writer was Castle, something Castle. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Well, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know who the guy's or what the guy's name is.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like I got a chat full of people here. Come on, guys, help me out.
Okay, I got one. It's in my opinion, it's like sort of an oddly like slow and boring movie in a way. Like there's not a lot of action or anything like that. But have you ever seen The Ninth Gate with fucking
dude? It's so.
Jack?
The original Haunting was superb. Yeah, it was. That might actually be one of the movies I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm sorry, Ninth Gate. Yeah, it was Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Were you talking to me about this, or did someone in chat talk to me about the Ninth Gate?
Oh, I talked to Kyle about it in the car on the way home the other day, but I don't think I've mentioned it to you.
Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah. I always that came out very closely around the same time as From Hell, which was also Johnny Depp,
the fucking,
Jack the Ripper one. Yeah. I don't know if you know this. That was based on a graphic novel.
I think I did know that for some reason, but I don't know why.
It was actually shortly after that. I'm pretty sure my dad joined the Masons, so I think that inspired him.
Wait, which thing?
From Hell.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of the premise of who the killers were.
That doesn't say good things about your dad.
He goes down a rabbit hole.
From Hell, and then he was like, you know what? I want to join a secret society and murder prostitutes, dude.
It had that vibe. I mean, it was, I guess it actually is From Hell. Well, it's a graphic novel, is kind of based upon some of the more popular ideas of who Jack the Ripper was.
Okay.
Yeah, it follows those type, like that storyline. I don't remember exactly what the storyline was, and I'm not a huge Jack the Ripper like historian, so.
Yeah, I'm not huge on it either. Like, honestly, I find his serial killeriness to be the least entertaining of the popular serial killers. Oh, he killed a bunch of prostitutes.
Okay,
that's
what's your
really
like?
unique for a serial killer.
Okay, what's your more? What would you say is your most interesting?
Oh, by far
serial
Albert
killer?
Fish. There's not even a reason to question that. He is.
Oh, really?
The most interesting serial killer, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
He's the only one who had a nickname of being a vampire and a werewolf, dude. And as we know from vampire and werewolf movies, you can't even be both unless it's Underworld and you're that one guy who looks like Scott Stapp.
You just got scared while scrolling? Well, don't get scared. We're just sculpting a hand, okay? That's all we're doing. It's just a hand. We're talking horror movies, okay? It came up, and now that's just what chat's going to be about. Wait, entertaining? That's dark. Well, did I say entertaining or interesting? I think I said interesting. The most interesting.
Oh,
one.
interesting. Yeah. Well, I do find him the most entertaining too because he makes a cameo in a Stephen King, Richard Stroud book called Black House. But normally, he's just the most interesting to me. Like, the dude was known as the vampire of Brooklyn or something, and like the werewolf shit.
I think that's a movie with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, it very well might be, but yeah, no, there was like a vampire nickname for Albert Fish as well as a werewolf one. But one of the things I find really entertaining, or not entertaining, Jesus Christ, somebody in your chat.
Interesting.
Yeah, there we go. The thing that's very interesting to me about him is that like his weird psychosis seems to be primarily based on having been raised in a Catholic orphanage, and like the things that he did in his, I guess, private serial killery part of his life were all based on like the abuses that he dealt with as a little boy in this Catholic orphanage. Because like,
oh wow, so you know quite a bit about this dude.
I know a lot about the dude. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff about him. The dude, one of the most fascinating things to me is that despite being in my mind, if someone is a serial killer, you probably really don't want to be spreading your existence out to people, you know what I mean? But apparently the guy was like an avid like letter writer, like he loved the like pen pal sort of thing, right? And that's actually how he got caught, because his last victim, he had
He was writing he was doing snail mail too, Pony Express.
yeah, basically, like his last victim, unfortunately, was like a 5-year-old girl or something like that. But he had
Oh wow.
he had basically like gained the family's trust by hiring their son, who was a bit older, to go and do like, you know, manual labor tasks for him or whatever. He was very friendly with the family and stuff. They thought he was a great guy. And so then when he was ready to strike, he goes up to him and he's like, hey, my niece is having a birthday party. Do you mind if I bring whatever I forget what their daughter's name was at the moment, but do you mind if I bring her over to my niece's birthday party? And they were like, oh, this sweet old man wants to take her for a fun time. Cool, you know, and they were like, sure. And he tells them this address that they're going to and all that stuff. Turns out it's an address that doesn't exist, but of course this is like fucking 100 years ago, basically, so it's not like you can just Google that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And so they get on a train, end up getting off a train, and he brings her over to an abandoned house where he tells her to play outside. He goes up to this room that he's prepared upstairs in the abandoned house, strips all of his clothing off, so not for sexual things, but so that he wouldn't get blood on his clothes. And then he calls her upstairs, and then he kills her and spends like the next week eating a stew he made out of her butt, and like bacon and potatoes and carrots and shit, and compulsively masturbating.
Damn, that's rough. That's rough. Oh man,
Yeah,
the camera hasn't
yeah.
even been on when I'm working on here. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on.
But yeah, after he did all that shit, he wrote a letter to the mother.
That's hardcore.
Basically telling her what he did, but mostly wrote the thing that's interesting to me is how warped his mind is, because he writes her this letter to be like, hey, I murdered and ate your child, but no worries, she's gonna go to heaven because I left her a virgin. And I'm like, man, you got some jacked up priorities. But anyway, there was a detective who kind of like recognized his handwriting or something. I forget exactly what the initial clue in was, but something with this letter that he had sent to the mother of his last victim clued in this detective that was working on his case, and that's how they caught him. Like, if he hadn't been writing letters to the people whose kids he murdered, he would have just got away with it.
Well, at least until next time.
I guess I can't say he would have got away with it, but he would have got away with it longer, most likely, you know. But yeah, fucking
damn.
weird dude, and he's actually is the.
I didn't think you.
King book.
I didn't think you would know that much about really any serial killer, to be honest.
I had my like. I got
your stint.
Yeah. I had my little phase in high school. Amanda's older sister had this encyclopedia of serial killers, and that's kind of what got me onto it. So I was just like, dang, dude, like, how do you even get to that point? You know, or are you born that way? Like, how does it work? You know? And it's weird to me that that's like, I feel like that's got to be one of those things that's like a strictly human phenomenon. You know, it's not even like among other primates where we're like, oh, this chimpanzee we've observed for 3 years, he acts just like all the rest of them, but then every Saturday night he dresses up like a woman and goes and kills 3 dudes. You know, like that.
Yeah,
you know,
but technically, right? But technically, you know, chimpanzees and other types of primates, they enact, you know, other regular violence.
That's true. But is
probably
that then
per capita more, probably more than I don't know. We are pretty violent. We were talking about this on the stream before. We are, you know, a violent species. Humans are. Yeah. But I wonder if, like, again, per chimpanzee capita, like how much violence, like if there's more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for
well,
the chimps.
Something else I would wonder along those lines is like how harmful to the other chimpanzees is their violence. Like, I've seen some pretty brutal shit. Like, you know, there was that chimpanzee war like 50 years ago or whatever, where they
Did you say a chimpanzee war?
Yeah, you haven't heard about that?
You're putting me on. You're putting me on.
No, dude, I absolutely am not.
What are they like? Did they draft each other?
It's referred to as the Gombe Chimpanzee War. It went for 4.5 years, from January 7th to 1974 to June 5th of 1978. So it was a 4 years, 4 months, 4 weeks, and 1 day. Wait, is it 4 weeks, another month, you idiots? Anyway, whatever. I guess it's not necessarily a freaking literal weeks.
It's not. It's what it by different groups, just different groups of chimpanzees, right?
Yeah, it was so there were 2 groups in Tanzania over near. They were in Gombe Stream National Park, and Jane Goodall actually like witnessed part of this war. But yeah, this like chimpanzee, what do we call them? A chimpanzee troop or a chimpanzee?
Well, see, I was gonna say, is it It wouldn't be tribe, right? Like, it's not like.
I mean, it might be. We are also primates. We might use that term for other primates. I don't know. I think it's troop, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, basically over a period of 8 months, there was a large group of these chimpanzees that like became separatists from their own group. Like Jane Goodall literally witnessed this happen in the 70s, right? And then basically for the next 4 years, these chimpanzees were killed until all of the males in one of those communities were killed. And then at that point,
thank you much, Noctwolf.
Or actually, I just pulled it up right now. So yeah, it says, during the 4-year conflict, all males of the Kahama community were killed, effectively disbanding the community. The victorious Kasakela then expanded into further territory, but were later repelled by another community of chimpanzees. But yeah, basically for like...
How big were these troops? Do we know?
Let's see here. It says, first blood was drawn by the Kasakela community on January 7, 1974, when a party of 6 adult Kasakela males, consisting of Humphrey, Figon, Jomio, Sherry, Everett, and Rodolph, ambushed the isolated Kahama male Godi while he was feeding on a tree. The Kasakela males were accompanied
Thank you
by
so
one
much,
female,
guys. I really appreciate
say,
it. We're trying to make it to
well,
10,000 followers sooner than later. So if you guys
exactly how
like
many
special
were on
effects,
each side
sculpting,
from
mold
looking at the
making,
link of
and
Wikipedia
apparently
about it
history,
here, but yeah, I mean, like
be sure to
Separatist
follow.
clan,
We're trying to get there. I'm sorry, I am listening. I'm also talking to chat, so I just muted myself. I'm listening.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Let's see. So it would be. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how many were on each side, but yeah, one of them. They like basically genocided the other troop.
Oh, so there was a winner.
Yeah, the Kasakela group won over the what were they called? The Kahama, I think. Yeah, the Kahama. But yeah, dude, it's fucking intense. The crazy thing with like chimpanzees and bonobos and a lot of other primates is like there's a lot of crazy shit that makes them a lot more similar to us than what is like common knowledge. Like there's a National Geographic from, I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago or somewhere thereabout, that talks about, I think it's 3 different like groups of bonobos that live on some island, and they're very unique. Like the one group of them literally fashions for themselves forks and knives and uses silverware to eat their fucking food.
Aren't bonobos technically the ones even over chimpanzees that are like closest related to us, right?
Yep. They're like somewhere between a chimp and a human, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not quite the missing link, but almost.
Well, that's
I like
the
classic
thing too,
ones.
is there
Right
isn't
on
a
the
missing
stream.
link. That's a term that's exclusively used in Christian propaganda. Or I should say creationist propaganda.
Well, wait a minute. I thought there was,
No.
anthropologically speaking, a missing... No?
If you talk to people who are anthropologists or do like anthropological research, which I guess would mean they are probably anthropologists of some kind, no, that's just a thing that the church has been saying to people for years to kind of muddy the waters and keep them...
I'll have to look that up.
Church.
I'll have to look that up. I swear in my anthropology course that we went over it.
No,
But,
I mean, well, okay, for clarification, there is no the missing link. There are parts of our evolution where we don't have a lot of data, but this idea that there's like some missing form of man that
No, not one. I will admit that my understanding was not that it was one missing form. That it was the missing link was more to refer to a time in the chain that is unaccounted for from things that we have found.
Oh, that's
right.
Generally not quite how it's discussed in my experience going taking those classes and stuff. It's like when I was raised by my wonderful family, the part that you've met, I mean, They were always talking
they
about
used it.
and they were like, the evolution's so dumb. They talk about it, but like, there's the missing link, dude, and without that, it doesn't even make sense. And like, you're also the person who tells me you didn't come from monkeys, even though you're literally a monkey because that's how humans are taxonomically classified. So, yes, you did.
Well, primates. Hold on a second here.
Humans are primates, but we are also monkeys.
Are we just saying that they're, never mind. You're right. What is it? Genus, family, like something like that?
It's what? Kingdom, phylum, there's like 8 things. I forget them now, but yeah, there's a kind of like an atheist activist guy who goes by the name Aaron Ra. He had kind of a similar background to me with what, how he was raised and stuff. But now he's a what is he?
Really working on getting a skin detail.
Philologist? Is that what it's called?
Hey, hold on 1 second, Triceratops. I like classic ones, horror movies, Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street. I would pick, Nightmare on Elm Street and Hellraiser for sure tie. I don't know. I was never a fan of Friday the 13th. I've seen them all, but wasn't the biggest fan of them. I just did it because once you go down that nerd rabbit hole of horror movies, you kind of like have to see all of those. But I'm going to say this. Actually, I saw this Family Guy clip today where Peter is with his family and I don't know the story. I don't know Family Guy that well. But they're drowning in like a room that's being filled up with water. And he says something along the lines of, he's like, since we're all going to die, I just want to tell you guys,
I hate your Godfather.
Yes, that's it. And they're all like, why? How can you say that? How can you say that? And he's like, it insists upon itself. And what's funny is, I wildly agree with that take.
Same.
Beyond that, though, another one, this I'm going to catch a lot of flack for. Oh, look. Okay, so real quick, the poll results just got in. I asked, what video game has the best monsters? The options were Resident Evil, Dead Space, Silent Hill, and Left 4 Dead. Okay, those were the poll questions, and it was for the whole entire series of all of those things.
Yeah.
So what? There were like 2 Left 4 Dead games. I'd even consider you throw Back 4 Blood in there.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, Dead Space, and Resident Evil. Okay. Where did I do this poll? I did it on TikTok, and well, actually, I should say I made it earlier. Knockwolf threw it out there for me, and there's a tie. I don't know how many people, I have to look at the numbers, how many people actually looked at it, but there's a tie for Silent Hill and Left 4 Dead. I actually find that kind of surprising.
Really? Me too.
Over
like,
Dead Space
Dead,
and
I would not have even put that as one of the top choices. Like the other 3, any of them I would have not been surprised, but Left 4 Dead, that's pretty much generic zombies.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead
Call of Duty players vote for this shit? What the fuck?
Left 4 Dead and Silent Hill tied at 30%. With 20% and 20%. I guess Resident Evil and Dead Space tied for 20%. But I honestly, for creativity, I think I would have given it to Dead Space.
I would have went with either Dead Space or probably Resident Evil. Yeah, I probably would have went with Dead Space, to be honest. Yeah.
Like, I like Resident Evil a lot, and there are some really creative creatures in there. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. What was I gonna say? Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to go back to the thing that everyone's not gonna like. I don't like The Shining. Never liked The Shining.
I
do not understand it. Well, you were a Stephen King fan, so you probably read the book. Probably enjoyed the book, right?
That part of me fucking hates The Shining because Kubrick, that whole movie was basically like, fuck you, Stephen King. I'm making this my own, and it'll have nothing to do with
Oh, do you like it for the weird, like, Kubrick filmed the space landing
stuff,
yeah, okay, all right, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, no, I really didn't like The Shining. I don't know why people, I think it's wildly boring.
Dude, I think
it's wildly
that
boring.
Who played Olive Oil in the old Popeye movie, her face is in it so many times, and that's hard to look at, dude.
Oh, is that the mother?
Yeah. At least I'm
in the
pretty sure
Popeye
she's
movie?
The same person who played Olive Oil in Popeye.
The live action with Robin Williams?
Yeah. Been a long time since I've seen it, but
no way. That's her?
It might be. I might be wrong, but I feel like it is.
Huh.
They changed the map. Where the fuck is the zipline cave up in my life?
Near the zipline cave was near the landing. Good night. Good night to you.
that's where I landed in this game. So I'm very confused as to what's going on.
It's really, man, skin detail. This is why I hate having to resculpt big areas, okay? So you gotta go in and redo all the skin detail. I was trying to think of other cool video game related polls, and that was the one I was really curious. And honestly, it was one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna make a poll about what, monsters in video games.
Yeah.
And then I had the hardest time thinking of video games with monsters. I was like,
just like
wait.
the horror movie question.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna do a take and switch outside break.
Yep, do it up.
Big old boy, look at you over there.
Were there any video games with monsters that you thought should have been on that list? It was Dead Space, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Left 4 Dead. Dennis, thank you so much for the follow. Same goes to user many numbers. I just say that anytime someone who doesn't have a name. User many numbers. So let's grab a quick focus on this. There it is. Thank you for sharing the live. It helps. We're going to get to 10K followers. We're going to do it. One of these days, guys. It's going to be a huge celebration, too. Where is the...
I pretend.
All right, you were a music nerd. Maybe you still are, or maybe you still consider yourself to be. What do you think is the best movie score?
Oh, I'm gonna have a really probably, I don't know if you want my perspective on this, but I'm a big fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and by extension, I later became a fan of Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which to this date still has my favorite soundtrack of any movie. Now, if you're looking for
All right, I'm gonna
and those sorts of things where it's like
I was gonna say not musical. Like you can't pick a musical.
Oh, okay. So we're going with like normal. It's like probably some orchestral shit, or at least just non-vocal. Honestly, that's a pretty good question.
Honestly, mine would probably be some type of John Williams, like.
Mine
again,
probably
like
too, but I don't want to just be like Empire Strikes Back, you know?
Yeah, mine would. I feel like mine would kind of be something similar, like Jurassic Park, right? Or a very close, if not more so, would be Jaws. But that's really because Jaws did something with music that played into the actual, not just the music part to build suspense, but because they didn't have CGI back then, so all the effects were physical. When they built the shark and did all that stuff, they had to they had to spend a lot of money to do it. So a lot of the time, like a big part of the score was the whole classic Jaws, like dun 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 dun, that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the reason they did that was because they wanted to show the presence of the shark without showing the presence of the shark. So when the shark, when you wanted to give the feeling that Bruce was near, that they would play that noise and it would give you the idea that the shark was there. Yeah. It's the same idea. I don't know when the last time you saw Jaws was or how familiar you are with it, but
it's probably been 5-10 years.
Yeah. So the whole idea of the floating barrels. That was another way around it, is that they could tow these barrels around underwater and it would tell you that the shark was there, but you wouldn't have to see the shark. What's going on, Turtle? Did you end up streaming today? I didn't get a chance to check on it, so I don't know if you did or not. You're telling me that wasn't a real shark? It was not. for those of you who don't know, the shark in Jaws was not a real shark.
Actually two small sharks and one big great white sea.
Yeah, exactly. It actually was, yeah, it was not a real shark. I know a lot of people think Jaws was a documentary. It wasn't. You did not. Why didn't you?
Dude, speaking of horror movies, do you know what I would really enjoy seeing made into a horror movie? And you'd probably enjoy it too because it would both be political and horrifying. And I'm not talking about the last, like, 7-8 years of just life here. But
great.
I'm sure I probably mentioned this little historical tidbit to you in the past, but I think a really cool movie would be a movie about Johan de Witt and his brother. Johan de Witt was like the prime minister of the Netherlands in like 1570s and shit or whatever. But anyway, at one point, England, France, and part of some of the German states invaded the Netherlands, and there was like this huge.
Hey, hold on, hold that thought real quick, okay? Sorry. Building a house upside down. By the time I found them, it ended up being too late. Hoping to stream tomorrow and Friday. What kind of cables were you looking for? Just like power cables and stuff like that, or what? Sorry. Yeah, you were saying.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I forget what the whole greater political thing was, but there was this point where the fucking the Dutch Prime Minister and his brother, after the Netherlands was invaded by France, some of Germany and England, they like blamed Johan de Witt and his brother, whose name is escaping me right now. And then they lynched their own Prime Minister and his brother.
Why?
And because they blamed de Witt and his brother for England, France, and Germany as a unified three-nation coalition. Basically, they were invaded like really easily, and they blamed it on their prime minister.
That is a big arm. It's a very big arm, but it's not for the armsy.
That did this, you know.
Right.
So yeah, they hanged the DeWitt brothers, and then ate at least part of their body. Like basically, they literally hung them and then hanged them and then cannibalized.
Wait, how did? Am I missing something? How did we get on this topic? Now I don't know.
Oh, I just said something I would like to see as like a historical.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is just these guys trying to lead the Netherlands and then being hanged and eaten by their own people. It's the only public,
just
like whole culture cannibalism I know of that I'd be interested in.
I know cannibalism has played a big part in a lot of different things, but yeah, I actually can't think of any. God, my brain is just fried today. I can't think of any like historical cannibal stuff.
That's the only one I personally know
Wait,
of.
It was created for a short film. Yes, it was created for a short film. Did someone ask what the arm was? I missed it. We're going to be shooting a short film probably in about a month. So that's when I hopefully will have the arm done. We're not going to work on this thing on stream forever. So I'm sure you guys are, if you haven't already, get pretty bored of watching me sculpt skin detail. But I do have to get it underway. And we repurposed it. Originally I wasn't going to have to worry about all the detail as much. But now with the new right, it's going to take a little bit longer. I wish I knew what language that was. L-O space V-A-N space A-B-R-I-R.
That's Spanish.
Okay.
You said lo van abrir? Or I'm sorry, you said L-O space
V-A-N-A-B R-I-R, yeah.
Oh.
I think it is Spanish.
What does that mean? They're gonna open it?
I don't know.
Yeah, pretty sure it means they're gonna open it.
Okay. I've watched you sculpt a thumb for a year. At this point, the skin detail is a break. We did a lot of skin detail. It's not a thumb, first of all, okay?
A thumb. That sounds like some sort of...
He's just mad that there's turtles that you can hurt in the game. That's what it is.
Oh, that's Turtle Horse saying that.
Yeah.
All right, well, give me just a moment here. It does appear
Do what you got to do.
I am bleeding from my left nostril. I'll be back in a moment.
Hurt. Yes, hurt in quotations, yes. All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pop this one off, do the same thing, and explode them. That was one time. One time, dude. Ooh. Pop this bad boy off. One time too many. Turtle, do you have a time that if you go live, you will go live? Like, you said it got too late, so I'm assuming there would have been a specific time you would have gone live. And you're on, are you Eastern, shooting for 3 p.m. EST? 3 p.m., so that's like noon here. Are you EST? Yeah, you are, that's right, okay. Nice work. Thank you. Can't wait till it's done and we can actually do the effect. That's going to be the fun part. Yeah, so you can see kind of as the shape, it got too narrow. The silicone warped, right? So what I might try, I wonder if I can do like a little bit of a different type of surgery here. No, it doesn't work. This clay is just not friendly to that. Got squished, right? So let me put this back on, test the thing here. It's not terrible when if you're only looking at it from the front side. What up, Transformer? What's going on? Is the TikTok studio being secretly locked until 10K? What were you talking about last night? I don't know. I was saying that the TikTok studio, which is like the desktop access to the live, I don't know all the details. I'm sure there's people out there that know better than me, but the general gist of what I found, and Lagged Out kind of helped me look around for it, is that you have to apply for a sponsor, not a sponsor, like a management thing. I don't know. And then you get your stream code. I can go live, but I don't have a stream code, so I can't integrate it into like OBS or use the desktop version. When you look up online how to do it, like on YouTube, you'll just get a bunch of tutorials. They'll be like, oh, you click the live button, but then you'll visit it on your Chrome browser or whatever, like TikTok, and you'll see that you can't, you don't have that option. So yeah, I have a button for it, but it just takes me to the regular live screen. So I was trying to figure that out but yeah, you can't. Yeah. That's not the button. There's a different button. If you watch the tutorials, they'll have a button that you won't have. And so, as far as the 10K goes, I don't actually know if that matters at all. I mean, I just like more followers, first of all. Like, if we can make it to 10K, that's the goal. Yeah, it kind of is the only option. It's a little frustrating, but Argentina. I got that. I see Argentina. Or your tablet. Can you do screen share or no? Or do you just have to tilt the camera down onto your tablet? Weird. Anonymous played. Oh, there it is. The Predator laugh. Okay. Thank you for the 100 bits, guys. I really appreciate it. Why was it so echoed? That was really weird. Oh, because it played through my speakers. That must have sounded very strange. Knocked Wolf, thank you for sharing that information. I loaded up on my iPad to check. Only option is shoot out of the front or rear for me. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah. That sucks. For that type of thing, it'd be really great to capture it. Wait, did you try picking game instead of like camera, picking game and then maybe that's like a screen cap kind of thing, or no? Don't recall seeing that option. Okay. I thought there was an option for gaming. I don't remember though.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Did you know that that old douchebag who invented telephones wanted us to say that when we say hi?
Ahoy?
Yeah, he wanted us to say ahoy. For whatever
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not opposed to that. I don't mind ahoy.
I mean, I guess I'm not opposed to it. It's still just so silly. Like, I've never once called anybody from on a boat.
Mm-hmm. Yet there may be a day.
Maybe someday, but let's get there first, right? Like, let's calm down with the ahoys for like maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes. I don't know.
Where is my sculpting tool that I'm looking for? There it is. Okay.
Oh, I'm a big dumb idiot, and I kept running past the cave I'm looking for.
You prefer a hoe? Don't we all?
Do you remember creepy crawlers?
Yep.
Did you ever have one of the things?
Yep. It was TPE.
We were eating TPE, dude?
You didn't eat creepy crawlers.
What one am I thinking of that was the bugs that you were like making gummy candies with?
Well, I mean, that was a very popular thing. It was like the boys' version of shit. What was the oven? The oven? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Easy bake oven, yeah.
Easy bake oven.
What was the guys one? Because wasn't the boy, like the quote unquote boys one, also like a bug making gross stuff thing?
Well, there was creepy crawlers, and it had the molds. They were aluminum molds, but they just made essentially like bait, like fishing bait kind of type of things, right? But I know what you're talking about. There were a couple of like off-brand things that kind of came out around that time, that you could make like easy bake. Yeah, you just had a pink easy bake. No, but there was one that you could make like the mad scientist, like fake skin that you could eat and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that's starting to ring
but I don't know that it ever got like a really popular name like creepy crawlers or easy bake oven or whatever.
Okay.
Why do you want one?
No, it just pops into my head every once in a while.
Nobody told you there was a guy version? There was, but you had to cook fake turtles and eat them.
Nah. Dude, my sister had an easy bake oven, and that shit was awesome, dude. I think I probably used it more than she did, to be honest.
I think my sister did too, but I never used it.
Dude, I just like bacon.
Did I just miss out? Did I miss out on some easy bake oven good foods?
Yeah, bro, what's better than being 5 years old and making your own cupcakes and shit and getting fat, bro? Probably not doing that, I guess, would be a better option. But I liked it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever messed around with her easy bake oven at all. Maybe I'm actually. Maybe I'm.
Jesus Christ, it's your sister.
Was it called the Turtle Forge? Yes,
It's
yes,
called
it
the
was.
Turtle Fudge, actually.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Turtle, you're a funny guy. I like that. I saw you memeing more hand jokes after I went offline in chat.
Oh, another movie with oddly good music for a movie I don't give a fuck about. The Rocky movies. I forget which one has which song, but some pretty good music in the Rocky movies.
Wait, are you talking about like Foreigner? Was not Foreigner. Who did the Rocky theme? You're not talking about Eye of the Tiger. You're just talking about the actual
like
score.
the theme and shit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I honestly have no idea who did the theme and shit, but yeah. You know the. You know shit. That's.
They were mainly just for your own satisfaction. I know, just memeing away at those jokes when no one else is in chat. I know, it's a good time.
Let's put a little 10 down.
I've never actually seen any of the Rocky movies.
I haven't either. I've just seen fragments of them from I guess other content that was showing them. But
Yeah, I've never seen the Rocky movies. I've never seen a Rambo movie either.
I've seen all of those. I watched them kind of back to back while I was living over in Munich, and
Oh, really?
yeah, not bad. The second Rocky movie is fucking hysterical.
Wait,
if you're watching
I said, wait, are we talking about Rambo or Rocky?
Oh, I'm sorry, Rambo. I keep saying Rocky.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, the Rambo movies, they're all right. I like the first one quite a bit. The second one, if that's the one I'm thinking of, that one I just found kind of like ironically hilarious based on U.S. history since 2001.
Oh,
but,
actually, I will say this: I haven't seen any of the old Rambo movies. I have seen the 2 newest ones.
Coincidentally, those are the 2 I have not seen.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the second movie is awesome because, like, I watched it not terribly long after, 9/11 happened. And, I mean, it was a number of years, but still, there was all that, like, anti-Middle Eastern and anti-Muslim sentiment, which, sadly, I think is still kind of a thing.
In which Rambo movie? This was the second one?
I'm talking about in the United States.
Okay, all right,
Mad
yeah.
about Middle Eastern people existing and Muslims existing and all that. And like, I just thought it was kind of ironic that, or like, maybe ironic is the wrong word, but somehow kind of darkly humorous that the credits in that movie dedicate the film to like, what do they say? Like the brave and proud and courageous people of Afghanistan. And I was like, man,
Is that where it was shot?
I don't know if that's where it was shot, but that's at least where the movie's taking place, because it's like post Cold War stuff, and so there's Afghanistan's got like a bunch of American weapons and all this other stuff. I don't remember the history well enough to kind of really explain what's happening in the movie.
I was always more of like a. My favorite one is when he's in the jungle cruise guide guy. Oh yeah, that's one of the newer ones. I love that one actually. I out of the 2 newer ones, dude, the last one's really depressing. Like really depressing. It actually only came out like what
old and dying or something.
So yeah, he's like retired on a ranch in like Colorado.
Okay.
And his like granddaughter or something like comes to visit him or something, and she's like a 20-something-year-old, and she's just stopping by to say hi or something like. Well, she's on her way to. You remember that one? Yeah. Well, she's on her way to what's the word I'm talking? Like Mexico for like a vacation or something, and she gets like movie taken, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like what's that called? Like
Kidnapped.
the sex trade or whatever,
Human traffic.
Human trafficking. Yes, thank you. And he finds out, and of course goes all like Rambo and stuff. All right, big spoilers for any big Rambo fans out there. So if you're listening and don't want to know how this Rambo movie ends, then I would not watch.
Frankly, if they're big Rambo fans, they probably already know.
Yeah, exactly. So the sad part is that he gets her, of course, after going all Rambo down in Mexico to get her, right?
Yeah.
And he's driving back with her to his ranch, and she dies. Because she was like, yeah, dude, like, it was a really weird part in the movie because it's approximately like she comes to his ranch, goes to Mexico, and about 2/3 he's already on the way back with her. Like 2/3 of the way through, he's already on the way back with her. And she's, of course, like all drugged up and stuff like that. And she just dies basically from either like an overdose or whatever the case may be in the car with him. Like he saves her just in time for her to die on the way back. And it's like, where's this movie going? And I don't still understand why that sounds weird, but like why they killed her as the character or whatever, because the only thing that proceeds to happen at the rest of the movie is these bad guys who they didn't really develop that well for you to really care about them being bad guys.
Yeah.
He thinks they're going to come after him, and they end up coming after him, but not before he literally booby traps his entire property of the ranch.
Oh, okay.
Like there's literally like tunnels that are dug underground, and he like booby traps them with shotguns and puts the landmines and builds like trenches and stuff. And then there's this huge fight out at the very end. But prior to that, other than maybe like some kind of like kicking butt in Mexico, it's just more of like a drama film. And then the very end is just this huge shootout where he kills all the bad guys, but his granddaughter is still dead. Like it's a excuse me, a very strange, I would say Rambo movie. I haven't even seen the other ones, and I still understand the basic idea of them, which is,
Yeah.
guns a-blazing, crazy, like testosterone-driven insanity,
Well, kind
But-
of. The first one, in a certain sense, is maybe almost kind of progressive for its time. Now, I admittedly, I don't really know how much was known about PTSD back when the first one was made. It seems like that was something I didn't really hear about until like the mid-2000s. You know what I mean? Of course,
Right.
I'm an '80s baby, so who knows what I missed out on. But anyway.
Well, yeah, but the first Rambo would have been, spoiler alert, right? Yeah, but the first Rambo would have been in the 80s, right? I believe.
Yeah, it would, in theory. Well, so it would have been made in the '80s, but if I recall, he's a returning Vietnam vet. So it'd been a little bit earlier.
Oh, okay,
than that.
gotcha.
But yeah, basically the movie is about how like he gets fucked with while having PTSD when he gets back, and obviously like with how things were in real life, people were
Nice.
pretty shitty to Vietnam vets because half the country was protesting it. Basically, everybody
Right.
was being assholes to the soldiers when obviously like they're not even the ones who determined what was going to happen in Vietnam.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, he gets fucked with by like a cop, like right at the beginning of the movie, and because he has PTSD, he kind of like is, in, I guess, for lack of a better term at the moment, like Charlie in the Tree mode, and like kind of goes to war with this town and their law enforcement, kind of like thinking he's kind of back in
The first Rambo,
Yeah.
like all the action and stuff takes place in like in the States?
Yeah, it's like a fucking Colorado town, I think, or maybe like North Dakota or South Dakota or something. But yeah, like he's basically just got back from being at war, gets back to I believe it's supposed to be his hometown, and he's like walking down a road with like his rucksack or whatever. And if I remember, a cop like comes up and kind of like fucks with him in a way.
So this is
And
kind
he
of like a
just goes
Walking Tall movie a little bit, like
Yeah,
Like-
to some extent, yeah.
corruption in a small town.
Well, it's
Bad guy.
maybe to some extent we could argue there's a little bit of police corruption going on with like how the dude fucks with him, but mostly it's just like a fucked up experience with the cops triggers his PTSD, and he like anybody, like the cops obviously consider him dangerous, so they've got weapons and shit like that, and like anytime.
Dude, I had no idea that's what Rambo was about.
Yeah, dude, the first movie,
I had
really
no
surprised.
idea.
I was like, holy shit, this is a bit more than just a dude shooting stuff, But yeah, it's a pretty intense film, and like explores the concept of PTSD. I don't know if people were, calling it that back then, obviously, but yeah, pretty cool.
I feel like. Wait, is that like our generation newer term?
I don't know. Like, I know that back during like post World War II era, it was called shell shock, and I feel like I've read things referring to people who had PTSD post Vietnam as having shell shock as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Huh.
Yeah, PTSD is a fairly modern term. I don't know if it's like came about after we existed, sort of modern,
Right.
But it's not that old in the scheme of things.
PTSD is pretty recent in the grand scheme of things. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, so World War II, you said, like, again, I think it was, I knew it was shell shock then. But yeah, I guess I don't remember when it, would it have been right after more like Desert Storm kind of stuff? Like,
That could be. There's like a gap in my knowledge where I couldn't really answer that for you, but I would say based on like the time frame that certain things I've read or watched or whatever were made in comparison to others, it's probably somewhere between the 70s and the 90s. I would imagine that PTSD became like a term.
I remember that from a solid college psych class. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I know it's been a term long enough that back when fucking what's his face George Carlin was still alive, he had this bit about politically correct language, and one of the terms that he shits on in it is post-traumatic stress disorder instead of shell shock. He doesn't.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like
I
shit
actually
on it
think
being
I've-
like, oh, people who have it are bitches, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, the term is dumb. Like, obviously they got it from horrifying shit they witnessed, and shell shock is a more honest term, if I recall.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's like bitching about how we've flowered up all our language, which in some cases I can see, you know, I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of silly, you know. It's
Well,
just,
was that during his whole bit too of like the 7 words you're not allowed to say on TV? That whole thing.
I bet you it probably was. Yeah. It's been a minute, but I would bet you that's probably right. Oh, good.
Let me try something real quick.
About to go get myself the whatchamacallit, the zipline gun.
Oh, the whatchamacallit, yeah.
Yeah, dude, favorite candy bar, bro.
George Carlin, yeah, dude, same. Turtle says he misses him.
Me too, Turtle.
I'm not usually a big texture pad fan, but this finger is giving me it's giving me the finger, okay? Yeah, he was funny, dude. He was a good time.
Do you know how I first actually ever learned about George Carlin?
No.
Back when I watched the pilot episode of Saturday Night Live, back when it first aired.
Oh, was he an SLI? Or,
yeah, he was like the first
SNL
host.
guy?
He was the first host.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I was always a Bill Hicks guy.
Bill Hicks, I'm barely familiar with his work. I know Carlin a lot better. But no, I actually learned about George Carlin because he was that guy who suggested Jay and Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back that they try giving Roadhead to get a
yeah, no, I remember that. He was kind of always part of Kevin Smith's. I think he was in a lot of his
He
movies.
was in Dogma 2 at least, but I don't know about his other
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, up until he passed away. So I believe he was in, like, I could be wrong, but I want to say he was in like Chasing Amy and
He might have been.
Clerks.
The
Maybe not
Chasing
the
Amy, to be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of because I thought it was kind of lame. But well,
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
not-
It's all. I like parts of the story when it comes to, I guess, I don't know, like the moral of the story or whatever. But the movie itself, I was like, this is kind of boring. I'm a Mallrats guy. If I'm not seeing psychics with 3 tits, I really don't care.
Right. Hold on 1 second here.
Oh, hey, finger chest man. Who's here right now?
Hi, I don't think you will remember me, but I said to you a few weeks ago, have a good day. Well, thank you. I don't, but you know what? I appreciate it. I like having good days, and so thank you.
Generic cop compliment, Brian.
What?
They're like, I don't know if you remember me, but I just subbed, and you're like, yeah, I don't, but I do
Wait.
like having good days.
Wait, Bill and Ted? He was in Bill and Ted?
Yeah, he's the fucking dude who gives him the time machine and shit. They're like guide or whatever.
Oh my god, it's been so long. Did anyone see the new Bill and Ted?
Yes.
How was it?
I don't remember. I got really hammered.
Then how do you know you saw it?
Well, I wasn't hammered when I clicked on it to watch, dude. I was hammered when I started watching it. If I remember, though, I remember having a positive perception of it. So I'm guessing it was either funny or good in some way, but I honestly can't remember a moment much. I was drinking a lot last year.
Oh, this was last year.
Yeah.
I just saw a bunch of behind the scenes on the effects of the muscle suits that they made for them.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they look good. I mean, the whole movie is supposed to be pretty tongue-in-cheek, just like the original, I'm sure. So, like, what's his face looked the worst? Like, Keanu Reeves looked okay in the muscle suit, but the other guy just, it was very obvious from what I saw, so.
Gotcha. What is that other actor's name? No, fuck it, it's Old Bill, I guess.
Yeah, has he ever done literally anything else?
Not that I know about. I mean, honestly, you're the movie buff out of the two of us. So
I literally don't know. Like, I can visualize his face, and that's it.
I can visualize him in Bill and Ted, and that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I can't even visualize him like in an interview post Bill and Ted about being in Bill and Ted.
Yeah. Thank you, Noctwolf. Yeah, guys.
Knocked
If you like special effects, sculpting, throw a follow. We're going to make it to 10,000 followers. I believe it. Not today, and maybe not tomorrow, but we'll do it.
Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow.
In a world
But the next day.
where everyone follows me.
Have you seen the movie In a World?
No, I haven't.
Have you heard of it though?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
It's pretty funny. From what I recall, I watched it back in 2014, so I don't know for sure. But yeah, I enjoyed it. There's that one comedian woman. What's her name?
Did you end up seeing Don't Look Up? Did you end up watching that on Netflix?
Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't have Netflix.
I think you would really like that movie.
That's the like comedy version of that movie about people trying to warn people about a meteor, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty dark comedy. So yeah, but it is a comedy, yes.
Can't be.
And
as
it's very
dark of a
very
comedy
like
as the D Train.
yeah, I still haven't seen that. It's very it's very dry. Like very dry sense of humor stuff.
Okay.
And also wildly disturbing. All of it at the same time. More like a documentary. Yes, exactly. Okay, so you've seen it. All right.
More like a document. In what way?
Well, it's all about. Frankly, it's about how dumb people are. Like that's generally what it's about, right? So like, this terrible thing is going on, and everyone like there's I forget the reason, but there's a whole reason that they don't want to tell people that this thing is happening.
Yeah.
And so the whole like don't look up is basically the concept of that's like the media telling you not to look up because you might see something that you don't want to
see. Yeah. All right, baby, jump at my shit, bro.
But seeing actually, honestly, seeing Leo DiCaprio in a role that he does not usually play is pretty awesome. He's like playing like this nerdy, very nerdy, like off.
He's playing like this guy who dates people that are within 10 years of his age, and it's just so weird.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. She can't let the world-ending news get out before her election. Oh, that's right. It's the president is trying to get reelected, and she thinks this is going to be bad for her campaign.
What?
Yeah.
Is she Republican? That's I can't imagine. It's like I guess she could be a liberal too. But the level of dumb that a politician would have to go. Oh,
we got to remember.
Literal cosmic event I have no control of.
Oh, Jonah Hill's in it too. Is it Jonah Hill that's like her media advisor or something like that? I want to say, I can't remember, but it doesn't matter really. It's actually kind of honestly, it's really more just about how dumb people are. Like I don't remember if they even give her like a political leaning in the movie, but she's supposed to basically be Trump, right? That's who she's supposed to be. Global warming. Wait, it's the movie about global warming the Republicans thought was about Trump. And that tells you all you need to know. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, it probably does tell me something.
I forget, did you get rid of, is Netflix one of the ones you got rid of?
I have gotten rid of everything entirely. So I'm out.
I know, but I thought your roommate had.
I think he does. It's been so long since I've checked. I don't remember if I have his password or if I was using my own Netflix. Yeah, honestly, I'm a little unsure on that.
But yeah, it's worth a while. I think that was a Netflix exclusive too. I always kind of get pretty amazed when Netflix actually pulls off a decent exclusive.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. They've had some good ones, but they really flubbed up Maybe I'm just mad all about the Resident Evil show. I'm just really angry about the Resident Evil show. That's what it is. Because they have had some decent exclusives. But dude, especially after seeing how well The Last of Us has done, it's kind of like shame. Shame on every video game adaptation, okay? Shame.
Yeah.
You guys have been able to do it the whole time.
You've been lying to us for 40 years.
Cries in Witcher fan. I wasn't the biggest Witcher. I never played the Witcher game, so I had no dog in that fight. You know what's funny? And I will say this, I liked the Witcher series, or the show, but I will say this, I didn't care about any character other than the Witcher. Like, I didn't care about the female, I didn't care, and I was really angry because it just felt like they couldn't afford to have more of Henry Cavill, so they just filled it with other characters that I couldn't give two shits about.
I've seen memes about that. You may be correct.
But having talked, I don't know, Turtle, are you into the books, like into the Witcher books a ton? Because Sean said that that the books were the books are super deep. Like, there's a lot going on in the books. And so that the show, while not close to the books per se, is at least more deep. It's more in line with the books than it is the game, from my understanding. They have nothing to do. You don't think that might be a little excessive? Obviously, there's a character called the Witcher in the books, and there's a character in the show called the Witcher. So obviously, they have something to do with the books.
In the books, there's a character called Henry Cavill. It's just an ironic coincidence that Henry Cavill played a character called the Witcher from the video game.
I haven't. Wait. I will argue with anyone endlessly about this. I am. They have nothing to do with the books. I haven't gotten to read them all yet. Right up to the show is supposed to be covering. Yeah, don't we have a new Witcher now? I heard. Cavill's not even the Witcher anymore, right? Which is just going to ruin the show. Like, if the show wasn't already screwed, like, that's done. You're done. I got one for you. I'm trying to decide if all the leaks that have been happening over the new Joker movie have been on purpose or accidental because they were shooting in public places. I have seen so much footage of people's phones of them shooting the new, what is it? The Joker, something ado, what is it? Folly Ado. I think it's
it is Folly Ado.
Yeah. And like, literally, like, while the cameras are rolling, there's like some dude on the street with his phone, like, just taping the whole thing.
Oh shit. All right.
That's the brother.
Give me a second, doing a smooch break. He's being loud.
Well, hey, actually, I'm going to be wrapping up stream here shortly, so I will just catch up with you tomorrow, dude.
All right, dude,
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
See ya.
All right, hey, TikTok, I'm wrapping it up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for being patient while I sculpt all these tedious lines of detail into this hand. But I will be back on Friday. I don't know what we'll be working on, but we'll be doing something fun. Thank you so much for all the follows. I appreciate it. The show is so screwed, and it deserves it. Yeah, it does deserve it. Mainly because there just wasn't enough Henry Cavill anyways, right? Let's be real. The Gears of War thing is supposed to... Wait, sorry. That was a little premature, guys. I'm sorry. Okay? Sorry about that. The new Gears of War show on Netflix is supposed to be happening, so I have high hopes for that. But funny guy, thanks for hanging out. And Glitch, of course, thanks for hanging out. And Turtle, thank you for hanging out. I hope you have good luck tomorrow on your stream. I will try to catch it if I get alerted. If I get alerted to it, I'm following you. Do you get alerts from people you follow on TikTok? Like, If I'm following you on TikTok and you go live, I wonder if I'll get an alert to say, hey, the turtle is live. But, all right, either way, guys, have a great evening. I will catch up with you later. I'm sure it will be a disaster, so don't stress about it. I'm here for the disasters, man. I'm here for it, so. All right, have a great night, guys. I will catch up with you all later. Peace out.